Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we have news that the Netflix Horizon series is officially dead. Now, I don't know, I find this a little bit shocking personally, as we just had the LEGO Horizon game announced, right? It seemed like Horizon was just taking W after W, and it also seemed like this show was like very heavy confirmed. Like, Sony seemed like they were very, very interested in this show, and they were really hyping it up. But apparently, it was cancelled due to a controversy with one of the actors, who is more primarily known for Umbrella Academy, but he was essentially accused of a whole bunch of shit, and that is why it's cancelled, I guess? Yeah. Steve Blackman was accused of toxic manipulative behavior and inciting harassment. Now, I get it. You don't want to have a controversial actor on your show, but I don't understand why they just couldn't recast the role. I'm sure the show wasn't that far in development, especially if they were willing to just scrap it entirely. It probably wasn't very far along, so they could have gotten away with a new lead actor. I'm reading some conflicting reports now, too, though, that the series may actually still be happening in some capacity. It's a very confusing situation, as a few days ago, when this news first came out, everybody was treating it like doomsday, like, oh no, it's cancelled, and now we're getting conflicting reports. But as for if it is cancelled, I would say that I'm not personally disappointed, as, I mean, I have a bone to pick with Horizon for stealing the LEGO game spot. I wanted a LEGO Infinity Saga game, or just anything other than LEGO Horizon, but this does suck for Horizon fans. Next up, we now have a statement from someone who works on the Despicable Me movies that they now apparently wouldn't be opposed to aging up characters in a future film. Now, this is very, very fucking confusing, as literally like only a week ago at this point, they said the exact opposite, that they would never age up the kids. But now, he's saying, oh yeah, we could set a movie 20 years in the future and go, oh my god, Gru Jr. and Edith have now inherited Dad's villain empire. And I'm not opposed to this. I mean, I argue that they should age the characters up eventually, so I'm very happy about this. But it's just confusing. Why say one thing and bother potentially bringing negative press when you could just be honest from the get-go? But yeah, I already gave my opinion on them potentially aging the characters up. I think it is overall a great move for the franchise if you want to keep it relevant beyond Gru, as opposed to just the minions. Yeah, I guess we will potentially see aged up characters. Next up, we have YouTube allowing creators to remove copyrighted music from videos while keeping their voice intact. I'm just surprised that a feature like this hasn't been implemented a long time ago. Like, it seems like such an easy feature to implement. Like, all you have to do is just have, like, separate audio tracks in the video. What I mean by this is, like, so the AI that determines if there's copyrighted material in a video, it's able to distinguish the difference between a person's voice and the copyrighted music. That's how it identifies the copyrighted music. So if it's able to separate the audio tracks, why not just do that physically, right? And it seems that there's obviously something like that going on. Obviously, I don't know the tech and how it fully works, but I'm glad that they're doing this because copyright is a fucking bitch, and you shouldn't lose your entire video off the get-go just because you have copyrighted music. You should be able to make changes. You're able to make changes to a whole bunch of other shit, like if there's offensive content in your video, you can edit it out, etc. So it should definitely be the same for this. Next up, we have a new law in Illinois that requires family and parenting influencers to pay their kids a portion of the revenue that they get from YouTube to their kids. So this is a massive fucking W right here. Now, I don't know if there's any family channels that are in Illinois. I believe if there is any, there would just be like the small fry ones. Like the big ones like the Ace family and shit, they're in California and whatever. So unfortunately, it wouldn't apply to them. And also apparently, this law has been trying to get passed for a long time. Because I have saw posts about this from back a year ago. People were talking about this exact law. So if people are still talking about it now, it must have not went into effect. I really hope that means that this law isn't like basically just pending or like very easily reversible, as this definitely needs to happen. The child exploitation with family channels is such a problem on YouTube that I think 15% of earnings is just, it's the bare minimum you could do. I think you should be doing even more, like, you know, having actual protections against child exploitation so that like parents can't do certain things. Because, let's be real, I don't think a family channel's kid is worrying about money. They're probably making plenty of money. Obviously not the small fry channels, but the channels that are the real problems here, the ones with millions of subscribers, they're making millions of dollars. So so the kids are getting plenty of money anyway. Next up, we have a new dating app that lets you filter out by cultural preference. You could be like, I only date Germans, I only date Ukrainians, etc. Now, people are calling this racist, and it kind of is, yeah, but also, people can have preferences, man. Also, I have a question regarding the actual picture itself. So, it's clear that this isn't just about ethnicities either, as you can see spiritual people and Christian people as an option. So, why did they select Germans as the highlight here? Like, notice that? If anything, this dating app is showing a bias towards Germans. Who fucking made this app? Okay, I'm actually going to check if Germans made this app. 1 second. Alright, so I've returned, and after looking up Dua.com, I have found that Dua is related to Allah and all that Arabic religion shit. So that implies that this was made by an Arab. Now, I'm no history teacher. I don't know the entire lore between Germany and the United Arab Emirates, but this is very interesting. This is not where I expected this segment to go. I expected to just say my usual shit like, look, dude, this isn't racist, you're wrong, it's actually fine. But no, this is extremely, extremely interesting. Holy shit. Okay, in 2022, the Emirates were once again Germany's most important business partner in the region, with a bilateral trade volume of nearly 9.8 billion euros. That's what I just looked up. Holy shit. So, yeah, this is clearly made by an Arab, and they have a bias for Germans. That's the true story behind this image. As for the original reason why I even included this, no, it's not racist to have an ethical preference or even a religious preference, especially a religious preference. Like, if you don't have the same religion, a relationship isn't going to work. That should just be obvious. Because basically every religion, like, that's your life, I find. You're like glued to your religion. So if the most important thing to you don't have in common with your partner, yeah, we are looking at a very bad relationship here. Worse than ones on 90 Day Fiancé. Next up, I wanted to give my thoughts on a man getting 4 months in prison just for carrying a little fucking 6-inch master sword in public, bro. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? And it was inside a sheath as well. So it's not even like it could have been harming somebody either. What's next? Am I gonna be arrested for having a fucking Nerf gun in my backpack? Like, that's equivalent to this. And the entire point of a sheath is so that the sword is harmless to anyone. Like, that's why you put it in there. So if you're gonna get in trouble for taking the proper safety precautions, like, what's up with that too? Like, am I gonna get in trouble for following the speed limit on the road next? There's already enough people who get away with doing bad shit on the road. Now we're gonna be punished for being good drivers at this rate. Netflix is apparently starting to boot people off of their basic ad-free plans. Great! Like, okay, the ads we're signing up for, we're willingly paying for the ads because we're paying less. We're aware of that. But we weren't aware of the risk of getting booted off when we first signed up, so really that should be violating the contract of what we signed up for. Also, the audacity for Netflix to do this, of all platforms, when there's so much better competition now. Like, really, what's coming out on Netflix recently that everybody's hyped for? It seems like all the recent shows that have released are either on Max, or really just Max. That's basically it. And I guess Disney Plus, if you count The Acolyte, even though it's not really favored by a lot of people, unfortunately. Next up, we have news on the One Piece Anime Remake, and it is apparently going to address two things, being the high episode count, and also an angle being difficult to watch. I don't fucking give a shit about the angle at all. Who gives a shit about that? What I do care about is the high episode count, because that is the main thing that is keeping me from watching One Piece. So, I may actually watch the One Piece Anime Remake. My friends fucking love One Piece, one in particular. They've been absolutely begging me to check it out, so I may actually, if this remake ends up being good. The 4:3 analog angle thing, though, like, how is that difficult to watch for people? Like, I'm pretty sure the majority of people that watch One Piece will probably watch, like, pirated episodes. Pirate, One Piece, get it? But, yeah, they probably watch, like, re-uploads on YouTube or, like, any anime. It seems that more people outside of Japan watch pirated versions than the real versions anyway. So I don't think they have any place to complain about the quality of how they're watching it. Back to the high episode count. I'm definitely glad that that's being addressed, though. It's just way too much for a new viewer to catch up with. Everybody knows this. And really, I think One Piece is like the only non-episodic anime that has an episode count that high. Like, Naruto's up there. It has like almost, 800 collectively? 900? But, and then there's obviously Pokemon, which has 1,200 episodes. But Pokemon isn't nearly as serialized as One Piece is. Like, yeah, Pokemon's serialized, but you can kind of jump around and get an episodic feel from each episode because there's so many fillers and shit too. I mean, there's definitely fillers in One Piece and Naruto as well. God damn, imagine trying to do episode summaries like I'm doing for Pokemon for all the episodes of One Piece, because Pokemon, at least a lot of the episodes have a formula, so they're not super difficult to summarize. I mean, some of them are, but doing a One Piece summary for every episode, ooh boy. Overall, though, I am very glad that we're getting an anime remake. It is weird, as we never seem to get remakes of animes. Like, when's the last time this happened? But I think it's the perfect way to basically restart the anime so you can experience the story, which is apparently so fucking good, but we don't have to sit through 1,000 episodes. To bring back Naruto, if they did this for Naruto, that'd be another anime that I would fucking watch. Less episodes, but I believe that Naruto's story is a fucking god tier, and I do want to experience it. For our last two stories today, we just have two quick things that I would like to give my thoughts on. The first one being that Trainwreck saying that most new streamers are botting their views. First of all, where's your source, bro? It's fitting that this is being reported on Dexerto of all sites, but this just screams like he's insecure about becoming irrelevant. Like, I could see if there were streamers that were getting, like, millions and millions of views, but, like, all of the viewer counts are relatively normal. Like, even Kai Cenat, I believe he averages, like, 96,000 viewers per stream, and for someone who is that big, despite me never watching a Kai Cenat stream, I know that he's very big in the streamer space. Getting 96,000 live viewers, I think that's perfectly reasonable. So, if the biggest streamer or whatever has normal viewers, I don't know who he's really trying to target here. For our last story, there's a new anime fishing game dropping. Let's fucking go. Biggest news ever. Obviously not. But I will say that this is actually pretty exciting, as I find that there's not enough fishing games. We get new sports games for, like, Madden or FIFA every year, but what about fishing? It's a sport too, damn it. Now I'm just picturing someone dribbling a fish on a basketball court. And now I hope I leave you with that as this video ends as well. Just think of a fish being dribbled on the basketball court. See ya.